Hey everybody, it's Daisy. So I've done a couple of changes. I've decided that I'm not going to call myself Crazy Daisy's Random Thoughts anymore. It's just going to be Daisy's Random Thoughts. I've also added a YouTube channel that I'm going to be putting content on for my mobile notary stuff. And what else? Um, I don't know. But I'm going to be starting up my YouTube, my podcast, and I got a couple of topics, and I'm gonna redo some topics that I discussed before. And I have better sound quality now. I have a better webcam for when I post my podcast on my YouTube channel. And one, I'm thinking about, so you know how I do. I'm sporadic. I'm working on that. It's unfiltered. It's for the most part unedited. And I want to talk about, I want people to discuss with me about workplace sexual harassment with men being the victims. And I'm not talking about just a one-time occurrence. I'm talking about men that have had to endure sexual harassment at work every day or for more than one occasion, something that's repeatedly happening to them. And I know men don't want to admit that they have been the victims of sexual harassment in the workplace, but I do personally know of one person who worked for the government, and he didn't take it lying down. No pun intended. No, he did not lay down for anything, okay? He brought a lawsuit against his supervisor and he won, and she was terminated. And I know there are many more men out there that have been victims of that. Just like men are victims of domestic violence. And I'm not talking about like man on man domestic violence, but women on abusing their male partners, spouses, whatever you want to call, even if they're not married, boyfriends, lovers. Women do that. Women do the same things that men do. But why is we have women we have shelters for women who are victims of domestic violence. Does anyone know of any shelters for men that are victims of domestic violence? Why is it only for women? And if anyone knows of shelters for men that are victims of domestic violence, let me know. And if you have been a victim of sexual harassment at work or a victim of domestic violence from your female counterpart, your female lover, whatever, wife, whatever, are you willing to join me on my podcast and we could talk about it? Because it's a real thing. And it's something that's not talked about. So anyway, those are my thoughts. And I'm thinking about, well, I have one more thought. I'm thinking about doing, for that topic and another couple of topics, do like an Instagram live and a Facebook live, and then from there spinning off to my podcast. And if anyone wants to participate in my podcast, you have to sign a proprietary rights agreement that I am the owner of the podcast. You can never ask me to remove the podcast if you join me on my podcast. If you join me on my YouTube channel, you have to sign it. Legally binding contract. Okay? And so just hit me up if you're interested. Ciao, Bellas.